1 hour. That's it. That is the total amount of time I actively spend managing my entire investment portfolio per year. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Here we go again. Another YouTube guru with another ridiculous promise. The 1 hour investor? Is this a lie? Just another clickbait title designed to sell me a course? Honestly, I don't blame you for being skeptical. I would be too. Because that promise of easy money and overnight freedom is a lie. And I know it's a lie because I used to be the one buying it. I used to be the guy who thought that the secret to wealth was more work, more research, more stress. I used to be the 10-hour-a-week investor, and it almost cost me everything that truly mattered. Let me show you what I mean. Before I became the 1 hour a year investor, I was something else entirely. I was what I now call the 10-hour-a-week investor, and that's a conservative estimate. My life was a constant stream of information anxiety. It started before sunrise with the Asian and European market updates. My morning coffee wasn't enjoyed, it was consumed alongside 3 different financial news websites, each telling me why the world was about to end or why I was missing out on the next big thing. I was convinced that being a serious investor meant knowing everything. I knew the P/E ratio of companies I'd never buy. I followed CEOs on Twitter like they were rock stars, trying to decode their cryptic messages. I spent my lunch breaks not eating, but listening to earnings calls, pretending I understood the nuances of adjusted EBITDA. It was exhausting. Every decision felt monumental. Every dip in the market felt like a personal failure. Every stock that soared without me on board felt like a missed opportunity I'd regret forever. And the worst part? This constant hustle wasn't making me a better investor. It was just making me a worse husband and father. I was physically present, but my mind was perpetually lost in a sea of data and fear. My energy, my focus, my patience, it was all being consumed by the market. I was paying a huge price, not just in time, but in my life's most precious moments. I was working harder than ever, but my portfolio's performance was mediocre at best. I was spinning my wheels, burning my energy, and going absolutely nowhere. I thought I was in control. In reality, I had never been less in control of my life. I was a slave to the machine, not its master. The breaking point for me wasn't a single event. It was a slow, creeping realization. A question that started as a whisper and grew into a roar in my head. What is the actual goal here? Was the goal to beat the market? To sound smart at dinner parties? To have the most complicated spreadsheet? No! The goal was freedom. The goal was to have my money work for me, so I could have the freedom to live my life. And in that moment, I understood the profound mistake I had been making. I hadn't built an asset. I had given myself another job. And it was the worst job in the world. One with 24/7 hours, no pay, and a boss, the market, that was completely irrational. The philosophy of the world's greatest long-term investors, like Warren Buffett, suddenly clicked into place. They didn't succeed by working harder in the market, they succeeded by creating a system that did the work for them. I realized I needed to stop being the engine of my portfolio and start being its architect. My job wasn't to manage the money day to day. My job was to design a machine, a system so robust, so simple, and so automated that it would thrive without my constant intervention. My job was to build a system that would allow me to fire myself. So I went back to the drawing board and I asked myself a new set of questions. Not what stock will go up tomorrow, but what is the absolute minimum I need to do to achieve the maximum long-term result? The answer was beautiful, and it was the foundation for my 1 hour a year system. The system I built rests on 3 incredibly simple but powerful pillars. Think of them as the unbreakable rules of lazy investing. Pillar number 1, radical simplification. Instead of trying to pick hundreds of individual stocks, I decided to own everything, or close to it. My entire stock portfolio is now composed of just 2 to 3 broad market index fund ETFs. One for the US market, giving me a piece of every major American company, one for the international market, capturing the growth of the rest of the world, and a small allocation to a total bond market fund which acts as a shock absorber during turbulent times. That's it. I stopped looking for the needle in the haystack. I bought the entire haystack. This one decision alone eliminated 90% of the complexity and anxiety from my life. Pillar number 2, aggressive automation. The enemy of the long-term investor is not the market, it's our own emotion, our fear, our greed. The only way to defeat this enemy is to take ourselves out of the equation. So I automated everything. Every single month on the exact same day, a set amount of money is automatically transferred from my bank account and invested into my simple ETF portfolio. It happens whether the market is soaring or crashing. It happens whether I'm feeling optimistic or terrified. My emotions are no longer part of the decision-making process. The system runs itself. Pillar number 3, intentional disengagement. This is the final and perhaps most difficult pillar. I made a conscious decision to stop consuming daily financial news. I turned off the notifications. I deleted the stock tracking apps from my phone's home screen. Why? Because I realized that 99% of daily market news is just noise. It is designed to make you react, to make you trade, to make you anxious. By intentionally disengaging from the noise, I gave my system the quiet space it needed to work its long-term magic. So simple portfolio, aggressive automation, and intentional disengagement. These are the 3 pillars. But what do I actually do in that 1 hour a year? All right, so here it is, the big secret. My entire annual investment review, which I usually do on a quiet Saturday morning in January. And when I say it's simple, I mean it. It's really just 4 little things. First up, I do what I call the "Are we still on track?" check. And honestly, this is the longest part, but it still only takes me about 20 minutes. I'll grab my coffee, log into my investment account, usually for the first time in months, and I don't get lost in the day-to-day charts. I just look at the big picture. Did my automatic deposits go in every month? Is the overall value heading in the right direction according to my plan? It's really just a quick sanity check. Next, I do a quick rebalance. This part takes maybe 15 minutes tops. Think of it like tuning a guitar. Over the years, some of my investments, usually the stocks, might have done really well and gone a bit sharp, while others, like my bonds, are a little flat. So once a year, I just sell a tiny bit of what did well and buy a little more of what didn't. All I'm doing is getting my portfolio back to that simple original mix I decided on from the start. It's not complicated at all. Third on my list is the "Can we do more?" question. This is another quick 15-minute look at our family's finances from the past year. Did we get a raise? Did we pay something off? Can we bump up our automatic monthly investment, even just a little? It's amazing what a small increase can do over the long haul. And finally, the last step. It takes maybe 10 minutes, but it's the most important part of the entire hour. I close the laptop. Seriously. I write down in my notebook that the annual check-in is done. And then I shut it all down and go spend the rest of the day with my family, completely worry-free for the next 364 days. That's it. That's the whole hour. So you see, this 1 hour a year system isn't really about saving time. It's about reclaiming your life. The true currency this system gives you isn't just a higher portfolio balance, it's headspace. It's the mental energy you get back when you're no longer constantly worrying about the market. It's presence. The ability to be fully engaged in a conversation with your partner, or to get lost in building a Lego tower with your kids without a part of your brain wondering what the Federal Reserve is going to do next. This system is designed to build wealth, yes, but its real purpose is to run silently in the background of your life, giving you the freedom to focus on the things that can't be quantified on a spreadsheet. It turns your money into a silent, loyal employee working tirelessly for your future, so you can be the CEO of your present. And that is a return on investment you can't put a number on. So that's the system. That's how I went from being a stressed out 10-hour-a-week investor to a calm 1 hour a year investor. But this video isn't really about my story. It's about yours. It's about giving yourself permission to get off the hamster wheel. It's about realizing that the best investment you can ever make is in your own peace of mind. If this message resonated with you today, If it gave you a sense of hope or clarity, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's the best way to tell me that this kind of conversation is valuable. And if you're ready to start building your own system for a calmer, wealthier life, make sure you subscribe, because our journey together is just beginning. Finally, if you have a friend or a family member who you know is stressed out about investing, share this video with them. You might just give them their weekends back. Now, I know a big question that might be on your mind is, this sounds great, Alex, but what if I feel like I'm starting late? That is a huge topic, and it deserves its own deep dive. In fact, that's exactly what we're going to tackle in my very next video, where I'll share why starting your journey in your 30s or 40s might actually be a secret advantage. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thank you for your time. Now go and reclaim your life.